Hello, my name is Daniel Medina, and today we're going to look at the digestive system. So, the first part of the digestive system, right here, is the mouth. And basically, what the mouth does is use the teeth to grind food and break down food more easily to allow digestion to be more easy for the body. Also, at the mouth, we can find the salivary glands, which produce a very important enzyme called salivary amylase. And what this enzyme does is to break down food, more specifically carbohydrates, and also lubricates the passage of food through the esophagus to the stomach, and keeps the mouth and other parts of the digestive system moist. Then, right here, after the mouth, comes the esophagus, which by peristalsis, which is basically muscle contractions, it allows the food to pass through the esophagus into the stomach. So the esophagus would contract and open when food needs to come in, and open when food needs to come out. So it would just open those two times, no more than that, and then would like then allow the food to go onto the stomach. So then, right here, we have the esophagus, and here's the stomach. Food already went through the esophagus and passed on through the stomach, and basically what the stomach does is to secrete strong acid and powerful enzymes to digest food into a usable form. So acidic juices would be secreted, so that food can be digested more easily. It also contracts periodically, so it would be in constant movement to enhance digestion. And after the stomach, right here comes the small intestine. So food then would then pass onto the stomach to the small intestine, which is this long sequence, this long structure you see here. It's very cramped, and basically what the small intestine does, it does two things. And with this, to understand this, you need to know that it's breaking into three parts. First, it's the duodenum, then it's the jejunum, and finally, it's the ileum. And what the duodenum does is it's still involved with the breakdown in food. So in the duodenum, food will still be broken down in the small intestine, and the ileum and jejunum, they would be involved with nutrient absorption. So once food is broken down, they would absorb those nutrients. Then comes the pancreas right here, which is this yellowish structure you see. And the pancreas, it is an organ gland located in the abdomen, and its job is to produce important enzymes and hormones that would then go to the small intestine, so that food can be secreted. So here are hormones and other important substances that would break down the food, and this will go to the small intestine right here, so that the food in the small intestine can be digested. Also, something important is that it produces insulin, which it's involved with the sugar being taken to the organs of the body. There's also the gallbladder. So the gallbladder, right here, this green thing you see, it's involved with the production, transportation, and storage of bile. And bile is this yellowish brown fluid, and it's produced by the liver as well, and it's used to break up and digest fatty foods in the small intestine. So all of this would also be sent to the small intestine as well to help digest food. Then there's also the liver. Right here's the liver, this huge brown thing, and what it does is to absorb the nutrients produced right here in the small intestine and process them. It process those nutrients so they would go to the liver, and then they would be secreted into other parts of the body as chemical substances. So they would process the nutrients from the small intestine in the liver, and then they would be used somewhere else in the body. So it's basically like a chemical factory of the body, because it would absorb raw materials from the small intestine to make chemicals the body needs. Also, there's the large intestine, also the colon. Right here, this huge thing you see. This thing is the large intestine or colon, and basically the stool or waste is passed through the colon also by peristalsis. This is an important movement the body does. It's passed first as a liquid through the colon, and then it's passed by a solid form as water is removed. So what the colon does is remove water. So then as the waste goes through the colon, then it is passed on to the rectum, which is the last part of the digestive system. It's right here, the rectum, and once the brain allows the rectum to secrete the waste, then the waste is expelled from the body. So the rectum holds the waste until the brain allows it to, and then it's eliminated from the body. So that's basically the digestive system, and I hope that's helpful.